10 to 12 week time frame.
We plan on documenting our progress with weekly live streams, short, quick video updates, and regular devlogs. And all our games will be available for free on itch.io.
We have a ton of ideas we want to try out, and the list keeps growing.
We want to remain independent and use as many open source tools as possible.
We'll try to stay on schedule while taking care of our health. The goal is to avoid the crunch that's so prevalent in the games industry.
We wouldn't be able to do this without your direct support. So, if this sounds interesting to you, consider joining the Patreon.
Are you tired of huge games with too many things in it? Tired of hearing about games that only come out once you've entirely forgotten about them?
Too long development cycles?
Too big teams? Too big games?
Well, we have a solution for that.
Hello, we are Small Dreamers.
We've been toying with the idea of making games together for a long time, and the time seems right.
The goal of Small Dreamers is to make bite-sized games, short experiments, each made within a 10 to 12 week time frame.
We plan on documenting our progress with weekly live streams, short, quick video updates, and regular devlogs. And all our games will be available for free on itch.io.
We have a ton of ideas we want to try out, and the list keeps growing.
We want to remain independent and use as many open source tools as possible.
We'll try to stay on schedule while taking care of our health. The goal is to avoid the crunch that's so prevalent in the games industry.
We wouldn't be able to do this without your direct support. So, if this sounds interesting to you, consider joining the Patreon.
Are you tired of huge games with too many things in it? Tired of hearing about games that only come out once you've entirely forgotten about them?
Too long development cycles?
Too big teams? Too big games?
Well, we have a solution for that.
Hello, we are Small Dreamers.
We've been toying with the idea of making games together for a long time, and the time seems right.
The goal of Small Dreamers is to make bite-sized games, short experiments, each made within a 10 to 12 week time frame.
We plan on documenting our progress with weekly live streams, short, quick video updates, and regular devlogs. And all our games will be available for free on itch.io.
We have a ton of ideas we want to try out, and the list keeps growing.
We want to remain independent and use as many open source tools as possible.
We'll try to stay on schedule while taking care of our health. The goal is to avoid the crunch that's so prevalent in the games industry.
We wouldn't be able to do this without your direct support. So, if this sounds interesting to you, consider joining the Patreon.
Are you tired of huge games with too many things in it? Tired of hearing about games that only come out once you've entirely forgotten about them?
Too long development cycles?
Too big teams? Too big games?
Well, we have a solution for that.
Hello, we are Small Dreamers.
We've been toying with the idea of making games together for a long time, and the time seems right.
The goal of Small Dreamers is to make bite-sized games, short experiments, each made within a 10 to 12 week time frame.
We plan on documenting our progress with weekly live streams, short, quick video updates, and regular devlogs. And all our games will be available for free on itch.io.
We have a ton of ideas we want to try out, and the list keeps growing.
We want to remain independent and use as many open source tools as possible.
We'll try to stay on schedule while taking care of our health. The goal is to avoid the crunch that's so prevalent in the games industry.
We wouldn't be able to do this without your direct support. So, if this sounds interesting to you, consider joining the Patreon.
It sounds interesting to me.
Sure does. Does it for you, though?
Are you tired
Non, vas-y, ça
of
recommence.
huge games?
It's starting over.
Hello, everyone,
Hello.
and welcome to our stream.
Hi.
Who's here? Hello, Mamo.
Hi. Salut, moms.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, mom.
Up.
Uh,
There's
It's-
cats going crazy everywhere.
cats, dogs. If
Everything's
you hear
fun.
things,
So if you hear
it's-
animal noises,
it's just
It's
get used
home.
to it. I guess.
Okay,
It's Wednesday.
it's Wednesday. It's our first non-announcement stream.
Yeah.
This is the real one.
This is the real one. We
Well-
didn't plan anything, so we're ad-libbing everything, which
We
is
didn't
fine.
make a giant PowerPoint or anything.
There's not gonna be any PowerPoint this time. Oh my god.
There's gonna be images and stuff.
We do have
And
things
I
to
have the
show.
Godot project open, so we'll just show what we did. Is
Yeah.
there?
But yeah, and I don't know. Before we start right on the game, we know there is the triple I thing
Mm,
going on at the moment at the same time.
there's not gonna be a Kryak in this game,
We do not have emojis yet.
and we're not allowed. I think maybe.
Not yet, not until we get affiliate status. on
Yeah, we
Twitch.
need 50 people to join. So call all your friends and tell them to subscribe to us.
Then
Then you can have a Kryak emoji. I drew one.
there is a Kryak sketch.
I drew one. Can you see this one?
Yes, I think so. Yee. So the existence of the Kryak is now
He's real.
confirmed. We don't know where yet, no how, but we have theories.
He will not be in this game probably.
Probably not. I mean, probably not. Maybe.
Maybe as an Easter egg or something, but we don't know.
Could be.
And we might not tell you about all the Easter eggs we're putting in.
Yeah, no, these
I'm
are
saying
surprise.
all as if we had any planned. We have none planned. But
Eh.
we'll see.
We'll see. But yeah.
So, want to start with your week of
My
development?
My week of development. Oh gosh. It was interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I ingested a lot of new informations about Blender, which means I still haven't modelized anything because I've decided to learn how to use the software properly. So instead of just jumping into tutorials, and it's very interesting. I know everything
There's
about.
a lot of stuff to Blender.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to learn there. I could have made so many trees though. I could have made so many trees though.
Oh,
But I didn't. I did other things instead. We made first of all on Thursday, we had a very important meeting, in which I came back here, and we made a map for the game.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I don't think they can see it.
No, not yet. Hello,
Hi, Sage.
Sejouf. Sejouf.
Séjouf.
Sejouf. You
Hello,
know?
hello.
I can read names.
Et bonjour les Séjoufzouz. I know who they are.
Hello. Oh, 48 people again. That's like same as last week.
Thanks.
Great. Okay, let's show them that the little map we made last week.
Yeah, we made a map with Legos.
I think the video is a little messed up, but it's gonna be fine.
Okay, so yeah, we had a very, very important meeting last week
To make a map.
to make a map. And here it is.
The map of the game.
So yeah, we had it was a very serious meeting. I want to to enforce that notion that we had a very serious meeting in which we did that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what the game's gonna look like basically.
And then the video is a little messed up because I don't know why. And then it's all at the end. Here is the end result.
Yeah, basically.
Here we go.
I need to stop saying basically. I had
basically, you have to stop
use
saying
clips,
basically.
and I need to stop saying this. It's bothering me when I try to clip things.
Hidden football minigame. No, there's not going to be any hidden football. Do you know how long it takes to code a football game? We only have like 9 weeks left. That's not possible.
Well, the answer would be probably 10 to 12 weeks for us.
Yeah.
But,
You want the jankiest football game ever?
yeah. Yeah.
Could be fun.
There are already very serious football games. Why wouldn't we make a non-serious, very rough, very scuffed football game?
What's the
We
name
can
of that golfing game where there's like weird... What the Golf? Those guys, they made like 3 or 4 different games already, and they're all very serious. And there's a very serious racing game and stuff. So I think they've cornered the market.
True. Oh, there's room. There's still room, I think.
So yeah, this is the map we made sort of on last Thursday.
Yep. And then from that,
Yep.
I think that's the one. No, that's not the one.
That's not the one. That's the modeling thing. I don't know where it is.
The drawing. It's not a. It's not.
Oh
a
yeah,
video.
it's not the video. Here we go.
From the Lego map. I drew the map. More details, more things.
Yep.
Hints of where are the mountains, how high they are. It's it was fun actually. I did that with the mouse. I don't know why. You had just lent me a graphic tablet.
You have a graphic tablet.
I have a graphic tablet since last week and I didn't use it at all. I didn't
should.
even. I don't know. I didn't even connect it to the computer. So that sounds fun. So yeah, that was done by mouse. But yeah.
So
it
this is the
works.
map so far.
Yeah. You can see like the yellow spots are where we're probably gonna make camping spots. If you remember,
Yeah, it's the fires.
there are paths, there are cliffs and stuff where you're
There's-
blocked. Basically, the gray little blobs are where you're not supposed to be able to pass.
Yeah, okay.
It's gonna be cliffs, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
there's gonna be nice cliffs, there's paths, some
Yeah.
interesting areas here and there, fireplaces where you can stop and end the game,
Yeah.
and watch the
Interesting
fire and
spots.
stuff.
Everything. It's
There's a lot of
fine.
stuff.
And the purple is just like, you do not go farther than that. No, the game is this size and this shape. That's
Yeah.
it. You don't go further than that.
I
I'm
should
sorry.
make that boundary at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
We're not done with
We're-
the map, so it doesn't
we're
matter.
gonna rediscuss this later. We're gonna come back to this later.
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
see.
keep this very ideal view of what we want to do in your mind. It's gonna change. It's already changed. It's been less than 7 days. It's already changed.
Of course, it's gonna change forever.
Yeah.
Well, until like 2-3 weeks before
Yeah.
we release the game.
And then we had the map time lapse, which
yeah,
is
and then
when
we
I
have a little time lapse. Meow. Okay.
we
go.
decided to use a plugin that's in Godot, and it's a very nice plugin. You see, it has tons of options, but it allows me to just sculpt the terrain right into the engine, which is great. It has also very useful tools for later, for texturing, for scattering things and stuff. So it's very, very cool.
Many great
But-
things. Many great things.
many great tools that keep us from having, too many outside moments where we have to actually create, by hand everything.
Mm.
And it went well. Like, I had fun with it.
It went well. It looks great.
Yeah, you can see me testing things for
Yeah.
dimensions and stuff here and there. But yeah, it looks good. It looks approximately like what I drew.
It looks sort of like the map.
Yeah, no, it's
I can see what you're making.
similar enough. And so that went well. Until some point where I was like, I need to stop.
Mhm.
A bit later than what the video shows because I am a maniac at some point. I went a bit crazy. Like, I think I blinked and then the map was done basically,
Mm.
and the day was done too. So it just went like it was a very specific rabbit hole to fall
Mhm.
into that I didn't expect, but I should have, I guess. So yeah, that's the thing. So that worked very well. What did you do meanwhile? Because
What
We're gonna-
I did.
come back to this later, the map, because it's linked to what Seb did.
So I did. I toyed around with shaders. I like shaders. Shaders are fun. So I started out with water shaders. So this was the first test. I made a couple, and then we decided on one. So I just basically followed some tutorials, found some on godotshaders.com. It's an awesome website where there's a ton of different shaders. I should move my mouse a lot slower when filming stuff.
I mean, this is gonna be adjusted.
yeah.
The mouse speed is gonna be adjusted later. We do not want to make you sick. That's not the point.
No. Of course.
No seasickness in the game, supposedly.
Probably not.
No promise.
You could always make it yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought the first one was a little too plain, a little simple and stuff. So I tried to add more little waves and stuff. And I was also toying around with
Outline?
outline shaders at the same time, which I really like. These are fun.
Yeah, they look good.
They look these look good. I really like them. So they will be coming back.
Yeah, because they're gone for now. But they'll be coming. They'll make a comeback at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're
Then I tried
second.
another one because this one felt a little flat. It felt a little too clear, and the colors adjusting was not satisfactory. So I tried this one. And this one I really like, but it doesn't fit with the vibe of the game.
Yeah, you basically sent it to me and I went like, that's very cool. That's no. No.
Yeah. Look how cool this looks. It's so
no.
pretty, but it's not for this game.
Yeah. Yes, but no.
Exactly.
Not for now. Not right now.
But well, I had to test it out to see what it looked like because
yeah, no, it looks very fun.
it looks great for this game. Not for this game.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And then we ended up on this water shader. Ooh,
What did you do?
that's pretty. Look at this. There we go.
Ah, there it
This is the water shader we're using now, and there's a big reason for that. It has reflections.
Yeah, it wasn't as toonish as I was hoping. Like it's a bit too realistic. But I modified it afterwards to
Yeah.
adjust the look into something a bit more cartoony, I guess, into something like less realistic. Let's say it like that, more toon-ish.
If you hear a cat, that's normal. That's just the usual here.
yeah, just there was
So
just
yeah,
a cat entering. And
There's
you're like,
these
"Ah."
nice reflections which none of the other shaders I found had.
Yeah.
And I'm not good enough with shader code to make my own shaders, so I just found them online.
Yeah, no, this one is fine.
that's fine.
And I'm modified it now.
I
so-
like it, yeah. And the water is now it's a little purplish in this one, but I like how it looks now.
Much better.
What did I do more? Yeah, then I had some fun with outlines and seams and stuff. Here we go. This is way before. The water is gone now.
No water, just blue.
So there's more
All right.
testing.
Also, no, you're testing when you were testing the.
this was the outline shader because there was weird stuff,
Yeah.
black and stuff here.
Oh yeah, I
I
remember
wanted
that.
to be gone.
So we had.
So I was adjusting, and then I managed to make it disappear. Basically, you wanted the seam, the lines, the outlines to be thinner when you're further away.
Yeah. Because otherwise it felt like there was no depth.
Yeah.
It flattened things too much, and it made things too confusing when you had too many
Mhm.
things in front of you and in the background with such a thick outline. So. Yeah, no, that works better like that. Also, you added a shader that you haven't talked about the
It's
the
depth,
effect. Yeah,
it's
the
the
depth.
shader.
Yeah.
It's this one. Oops,
think so.
not opening the next one. This is the one with the depth added,
In
and it's. I'll show it later when we're in Godot
yeah, no, I really like
because
that
I can
effect.
adjust it.
But basically, we were using a very specific shader that changes the look of things further they go.
Yeah.
And adds a little bit of a painting effect to it. I
Exactly.
feel like.
It's a painterly look. It's not the most visible on this image here, but You can see that the trees basically get blurred the further away they are. And the outline but the outline stays the same. I quite like that effect. That the paint is as if they were bleeding a bit.
Yep.
And I quite like that.
Yeah. So yeah, we worked on looks for the atmosphere a bit.
Mm.
So that was fun. Honestly.
That was fun.
Lots to learn in that way too.
Yeah. And then we had a little problem.
And then we realized we had an issue.
So I boot up the game and there's a big seam in the middle. And the shader really likes that seam. I don't know why.
Yeah, so suddenly when we were testing the terrain with the outline, it just did that. It just did that. And then if you try to get the boat over it, it would delete the outline of the boat and only show the line or nothing at all, and it was so weird. And we couldn't understand what it was. Then we did.
Really strange. It is. There's a hole in the map.
There is a hole in the map.
And we don't know why.
It's just so frustrating.
We-
Do you want to show it in engine? Even if
Sure.
we've changed which, so you can see the look is gonna be different, but because like
Let's see.
even on that I had already started modifying the water, but oh gosh, like
Let me just real quick go back to the poly shader here.
Yep.
Up, and then I'll show you guys this.
it's just like it looks normal, and then you
That's
zoom
normal,
in,
and then you go closer and
and you-
closer.
and
and
there is there is a seam. There is a weird crack in the map.
And it's
right there.
it feels small like this, but this is big enough for the player to go through.
Yeah.
With the boat.
It's just there is a problem in the fabric of this universe.
The Kryak is coming through the hole. Well, if all else fails, we can always put a tentacle in there.
Through the whole map.
Of course. Look at this.
Because the line goes through.
It
it's
goes the
basically- it's a
entire length
square.
of the map.
It's a tile limit,
Yeah.
basically. So the terrain plugin we're using has an issue, and it makes weird tiling effect, and
It's
it shows the
here, well.
seams like that of the tile. So basically, we had a great terrain, a great tool that would do everything we needed to do,
And then it
in-
didn't work.
and it did that.
It does something weird with the updating,
The LOD.
the load detail.
Yeah, if you don't know what LOD is, you can see that on the right, the LOD scale in the menu on the
Yeah.
right.
Level of detail.
It's a level of detail. So basically, games have some items that are supposed to be far and then close, can have different aspects.
See, the seam is gone if you're far away.
Yeah, but then,
Then you move
because of
closer.
the shader we use, it's not.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you can see the line everywhere.
I don't know why it does this.
I hate it. So yeah, basically level of details is you have multiple models of the same thing that are very low poly and more detailed the closer you get, so that it spares your computer from burning. Basically.
It's already burning a little bit because there's
Yeah.
nothing optimized and there's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of things.
Not yet.
Well, there's gonna be.
Yeah, there's gonna be also.
And I see that
that's the
already
thing.
the frame rate is going quite low.
I think that's the plugin too.
Mhm.
It seems to be very heavy. So basically, there is a high chance that we're not gonna be able to fix that. So we're gonna redo the whole terrain in Blender and then import it and do everything by hand in Blender later on, I guess.
Which is gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while because that's a bit more complicated. We do not have shortcuts, as many shortcuts as the plugin offered. So yeah,
Yeah,
so-
we'll see.
yeah, that it was worth a try. We learned a lot of things,
And this basically took an entire day.
this took a day.
A day to figure out what the problem was, trying to fix it, spending hours on different shaders and stuff to see if we could hide the problem.
We did so many attempts. Like first thing we did, where is this coming from? What is that line?
Yeah.
Okay, so we explore, we find the line, we see there is a line, we try to find what it is. Then where is it coming from? Because it was superposed with the Z axis. So
It's on the it's right on the zero on the
Z
zero line.
the
the blue line here.
So basically,
it's right on
one
the
of
blue
the
line.
perspective thing. If you know 3D software, it's just
Whoa,
a thing.
don't move
And
too
so we were
fast.
like, oh, is it because of that? So what if we move the map? No, it doesn't work. What if we
No.
decenter the map? No, it doesn't work. What else can we do? Is if I use the smoothing tool, can I erase that? No,
I
it
tried
doesn't.
to,
Can I paint over it? No, it doesn't work. can,
so much work.
can we hide it? No, it's a straight line through the whole map. You cannot put a straight line of rocks to hide it. It's not
Mm.
gonna work.
No.
So that's where we're at. Yeah, we tried many things, and so the easiest way for now was to change shaders. So we have another outline shader for now.
So if we now have a shader that's outlined per object.
Yeah.
So it's only on the trees and the little bonfire here.
Oh, that's a thing. That's the next thing. You also learned particles. That's fun.
Yes, that's particles.
So particle
I followed
systems.
a very nice tutorial for flames. We need to change the textures a bit, but the rest is very fun.
Yes, particles are something that I really love in any
Yeah.
game engine. It's just, this is the greatest tool you can give me. Particle systems tools are great. It's just, it looks so pretty. It's the worst things for processing power and memory and stuff because you want to add them everywhere all the time. But
Oh,
they're so nice. They're so fun.
I fell off the little platform. I can't move anymore. I need to restart.
There's still a few things.
I
to
also added the fact that you cannot walk on water anymore.
you cannot swim or Jesus your way through the game anymore.
No.
That's a very nice thing. You can
So you can now
onboard.
hear. Oh yeah, I added
We broke
fireflies.
everything right before the stream because we were still trying to find solutions about the bug and discussing things.
But
So
I
we
had
broke
fun with
things.
particles. So now there's fireflies. There's
A waterfall.
a waterfall. Oh yeah, should
There's
we show them the waterfall?
no, but you should show the
I should show the first.
first waterfall
I-
test.
I made a waterfall. It was very pretty. Look at this thing. It's the best waterfall I've ever seen in any game.
Yeah. I studied graphic design for this.
I didn't.
I know.
This is it's just a scrolling noise texture.
If you've ever been in a game development environment, that's what we call coder art.
Exactly. Well,
Basically.
you made one.
I used a random texture I found on the internet.
It works.
Yeah.
It's prettier. I like the bar.
Yeah.
Are those the particles I made later?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the same.
I didn't touch that up.
Yeah.
You made particles, you made the thing. I just went like, no, I just need to do at least one thing to make it look vaguely paceable, vaguely okay. But then I went like, it's a problem for later.
It looks like soapy water, like a bathtub.
Oh yeah, the particles do look like foam.
Yeah, it would have been better with some fog or something.
Yeah, no, it's not. We are not doing that right now. We need
No.
to do so many other things first. You are not adding fog to the waterfall.
No, I'm not gonna toy with this waterfall until we have a terrain and pretty much everything else that is done.
Mhm.
It's not a priority.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not a priority.
Mhm.
I have a list that's like very long.
Yeah. There's a whole spreadsheet.
And I said I was going to be helping with Blender stuff
Yeah.
this week. So I need to learn Blender as well.
Yeah,
That's gonna be fun.
that's the thing. So yeah, the bug occupied us for quite a while.
It took a bit longer than I would have liked.
That's normal. That didn't surprise me because it's such a big piece
No, of course, but
of what we had so far.
yeah.
Also, we could have stopped earlier and, just said, okay, this is not something we can settle. What else can we do to make the terrain? Because it's inside the tool we use. And unless we were willing to modify the tool itself,
I cannot do that.
I mean, we could, but it's going to take half of development time we have.
I don't want to. There's too much to learn to be able to modify the terrain.
Yeah. But I learned a lot about more technical terraforming tools and stuff than I anticipated.
There's other design tools for this type of terrain work, so we
Yeah.
could try another one
Yeah, I guess.
instead of modeling the entire thing on Blender. We could try that other tool.
I mean, we could, but it's gonna be the same thing. I still need to remodel it to
Yeah.
recreate it anyway. So might as well go to Blender where I know all the options are
That's true.
and no weird surprises await us.
Mm.
There are gonna be surprises, but
Less
at
weird
least we're
ones.
in control of everything. So that would be probably better.
And for Blender, there's all the tutorials in the world.
There is that, and also from Blender to Godot. There
Yeah.
are tons of tutorials and info on how to do that properly. Also, I can reuse the height map from this to re-import it into Blender, probably into the other tool too, but
It's not totally lost. I've tried importing it into another tool, and it made a square. I didn't know why, and I didn't have
because
time to
it's-
figure it out.
it's
but
manually resized
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
in Godot.
that's fine.
So we can do that later, I guess.
There won't be any surprises. Of course, there won't be any surprises.
Never.
This game dev, there are surprises every day.
There are surprises everywhere. The bigger the team, the higher the amount of surprises.
Well, at least there's only 2 of us, so there's less of them.
Yeah. I mean, also because we only saying 10 to 12 weeks
Yeah,
per
of
game.
course.
So
Yeah,
that,
if we
that
spend
forces us to keep the game small and thus the amount of surprises low-ish.
Yeah. What did I do else? Yeah, I did some basic testing stuff for areas and stuff, so that now you can
Trigger things or...
triggers things, get off the boat here. If you look at those little capsules here, those are you cannot click on them. Oh yeah, I'm the terrain too. That's why it doesn't work. If you look at the player, this is basically the cone of that detects if you are in the area to select something or to get off the boat or get in the boat. Here's the player when you're walking, and here's the player when you're
Peels everywhere.
exactly
Peels everywhere.
some nice pill-shaped things.
It's funny because I thought that was a very Unity thing.
No,
because
apparently not.
They use the peel shape by default for your
Mhm.
player controller, but it's just the best shape.
It works well. This player controller is a cylinder. His
Ah.
shape is a cylinder, and he is
That's That's new.
my size. 180.
I can finally see the world like you do.
Exactly.
Wow.
Because I made him when I started learning, and I basically kept him the same.
That's fair.
So what you now can do is get in the boat. That's like last week. And if you step into this, you can get off, and then it spawns you at the other edge of the beach, where I place these cubes. I need to figure out how to make this cleaner, because it's a little jarring yet so far.
Slightly.
Slightly.
This is yesterday's work, so I'm
course.
also being like, we need to modify this.
Yes, of
We
course.
need to change that. But that's just normal. That's the game designer in me.
And
I'm like,
there's this area that's green over there. That's an area where stuff will happen when you enter the area. So it's basically a trigger.
it's a trigger area. So
It's very
if
very
you've
simple.
ever used Unreal Engine,
me
they
just-
have this by default as something you can add, where they use rectangles or shapes, pretty shapes that are invisible, where you can just trigger something. It's for scripting. It's for making sure interesting things happen when you walk in to the area you want.
If
or
you
when-
see when I walk into the area, it should print something here. Event here. Event here. When I go in. Event here. So there's stuff gonna be happening. Here it said some text. Every time you enter this area, for now it just prints text, but it will do stuff.
and by print text, that's code word for it gives me something in the console that usually I only use to get me the bugs.
Yeah. It tells me, hey, you did something right.
Yeah,
At least
basically.
in this time.
The famous Hello World.
Yeah. That's what he says in the script somewhere. Where is it? I don't know. We're not gonna look at code while we're here.
It's here.
Here it is.
Well, sometimes we can if you have interesting things to show.
So
But
yeah, if
also-
you're in the boat, he says, we're a boat. If you're on foot, he says, yeah, you're on foot.
It's very, very simple, very clean for now.
I like
gonna-
I like GD script for that.
Yeah, it's very, very easy to read, easy to understand, even if you have not much prior programming experience. If you have any scripting experience, it's very straight to the point. So I like it too because of that, because I'm more experienced in that.
Hello, Ilianas.
Hi.
Ah,
So yeah, that's basically the last week.
that's what we did
The
this
past
week.
7 days.
Well, I've been working full time as well, so
Yeah, that
I
was a
didn't
lot.
have that much time, and I don't
Yeah.
want to burn out already. So I don't want to burn out at all.
Preferably, yeah.
Never.
I mean,
That's not the plan.
That's nice. That's a nice idea. Yes,
And,
please.
So I can only work on this like in total like 15 hours a week or something, which is already quite a lot
That's already quite nice.
on top of
honestly.
a full job.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's more. It was still a starting week, so
It's a
we
starting
we
week.
did the fun thing with the Legos.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
We need to do a fun thing every week.
We need to find one fun thing to do every week. That's difficult.
What's gonna be fun this week?
I'm making rocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you. I like making rocks
I'm
too.
making rocks and cliffs.
Yeah. Do you want to
think-
make the textures for those things, or do you want them unshaded, just colored?
Colored, I think.
Hmm?
A few things like that, but also that's why I want a toon shader. It's gonna be much easier. But also, I'm gonna probably paint them in
Blender.
probably paint, like painting vaguely paint style,
Mm-hmm.
very easy at most. I think we'll see. We'll see what I can do, what I manage to do, and if also I'm probably gonna make at least one tree to make sure I have a consistent style, even across different types of shapes or objects. And then it's gonna be nice. But yeah, that's gonna
We'll
be fun.
see.
Trees and rocks.
Trees and rocks and herbs and stuff and grass.
Grass. It's gonna be nice to have grass. To
Yeah,
make grass.
it will make the game prettier.
The few blades of grass could be nice.
I think you can make only one blade of grass.
I think I can make. No, you can actually make
A clump.
a clump of them
Yeah,
and then scatter that,
we'll see.
or use that as a. The tool supposedly could do that, but we're not using the tool
Yeah,
anymore. So
No, there's another one. It's a proton scatter thing. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly how it works, but there is one. It's here.
it's gonna be interesting too.
There's a tons of plugins for everything,
No,
and they never work. That's very fun.
no. This is the open source issue. It's just there are a lot of things, but also they're all half made.
Yeah, they're
And every
sort of
update
janky.
of the engine makes them more unstable. So it's the constant fight with that. Whereas yeah,
fine.
if you go into Unity or Unreal, you have tons more plugins that are more stable. You also have this issue with plugins in other engines, so that's not just Godot, but it's very prevalent on Godot because everything is open source. So you can actually go into the into GitHub for every plugin and look at the fights in the discussions, in the issues page of it. It's just very, very fun. And seeing people being like, oh, I did that with the tool. I modified it to make it this way and that stuff. And oh, I prefer to have an exatile system for the texture because
Mm.
it's less repetitive. So here it is. I made it for the plugin, in the plugin. I'm not updating the code with that. So guess how to do it yourself, I guess, is the message. So that's the fun part of it. But yeah, so still, I mean, people make plugins and that's already,
And Godot is quite popular now,
it's getting more and more popular. Yeah.
especially since Unity did all that stuff last year.
Yeah, since last year, everything but Unity has gotten
Yeah, exactly.
a bit more advertising, I guess. Free advertising for everyone else but Unity.
Well, it was also one of the reasons I moved away from Unity. I thought, I was always already thinking about open source and stuff, and what to learn and how and stuff. And it just made sense to move to open source software.
I mean, yeah. Also, I even teach Unity to children, so it's not that I don't like it. I use it so often, especially in indie projects when I'm hired for freelance work. But it also has its own limits and gimmicks and issues. And yeah, the pricing thing, it's really it's not just the pricing, it was the philosophy behind it,
Mm.
the fact that it suddenly applied to games that were already released, stuff like that, that made it like, oh, that's really not sustainable for anyone trying to make it as an indie game developer.
Mm.
So yeah, it just made more sense to go towards Godot that I didn't know already. Whereas I mean, Unreal is very cool too, but it's too big, I think.
I toyed around a bit, and it's
I-
fun to use and it looks pretty, but everything looked like Unreal so far. At least what I did, I started playing with assets and stuff just to figure it out, and
I really like their Blueprint. Is it still called Blueprint?
I think so.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
their coding system.
yeah, the
that's very good.
visual scripting
Yeah,
system.
that's good.
It's really, really, really cool. And really useful for non-coders like me that are. I'm way more comfortable with visual scripting than actual coding for reasons.
Have you seen the shader scripting language in Godot?
I've seen a bit of it.
It
yeah.
has there is text shaders, but there's also where are they? This one.
Yeah.
This is all.
You have trees like that. I think honestly, I could probably try to do something for the Toon shader because I saw a very good tutorial that's absolutely not useful for any game. For a Blender style, very
yeah.
Ghibli-like and stuff. I really loved it.
Oh yeah, you
But
showed that.
they also use the shader system in Blender, but very simple.
I think it's the same
So
language.
I
sorta?
think if I can really get into it in Blender, I might be able to reproduce it in Godot. Maybe. Or worst case scenario, I make it in Blender, I bake it, and then I put it right like that into Godot, and it should do something.
It should do something. It might not work completely,
Might not work
but we'll
completely,
see.
but it will do something. I really want the effect of having limited color palettes.
Yeah, I really like that too.
I really like that, especially for this game, where we're really gonna. It's gonna be very useful, also to force us to really work the lighting.
It's all about the vibes, so we need to work on that lighting and the effects and the colors and the particles. It's
that.
all gonna be about that.
I already played a lot with the fog, the ambient things, but
Yeah, the
right
game
now
looks very
it's-
different than the videos I showed earlier,
yeah,
and
It
it's
already-
basically just fog, an outline shader, and some blurring in the background. That's it.
yeah, basically that's it.
Mhm.
Basically, once again, I need to stop saying that, but it's it's missing something. So I really need to look into the Toon shaders and stuff because it's still missing that little something that's gonna tie it up together. Hopefully, it also helps with the water. Still not satisfied with the water.
No, I'm not
But I
totally satisfied. I
don't-
really like the reflections, and I cannot find another one that's prettier. I think there's probably ways of changing the entire thing by where is it? I don't know which one it is. This one, I think. See all this code. There's so much code, and there is ways to change the noise types and see how you by combining the ideas from the other shaders we used. Maybe we can figure something out, but we'll see.
Maybe maybe. Also, it's just I already just in the menu for it, materials of it. I really played with the noise a lot, with the noise shapes and stuff, and I still didn't really get what I wanted.
Yeah.
So I think it's just not there. Or it could be that it's because we use auto-generated noise instead of using a texture.
We could also just make a texture.
'Cause we could also reuse a texture because actually you can just find free textures
Of course.
that are very useful for noise purposes. They are usually very weird things.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could find something, but because I think what's missing is fake reflections, fake light reflections, because it's still very monotone,
Yeah, we should be able to find that.
and it's too
It's the I know what you
too
mean. It's the
rounded.
Fresnel stuff. It's very round and very
and I tried to make it
flat.
less, but it didn't work.
Didn't want to.
Or they wanted to, but then they made very weird light effects,
Yeah,
so it didn't work either.
it's
yeah, I'm still not satisfied with it. That's
No,
the thing. That's
we're gonna figure it
the
out.
that's the thing.
It's
But-
not gonna be Sea of Thieves, but it's gonna be fine at some point.
I wish.
We don't have the time for that.
No, they spent years on their
Yeah.
weather.
I think there
So-
was like a team of
There-
multiple people
Mm.
that worked on Just Water for like 4 years.
Something like that. Yeah. They have a very nice devlog about this.
I saw that video. It's very
It's-
nice.
So cool what they did with the water, and I love this game. So it's just, yeah. I wish we could have that, but we're not having that. Though we
And we
could-
cannot even copy theirs. And it's not within the
I mean,
scope of this game.
there
Look
are
at that. Of
things we could take inspiration from.
course.
Like they use color grading and stuff in nice ways and stuff to indicate depth rather than transparency. I think that could be nice if we could find a way to do that, but if we don't, that's fine. I'll live.
It's possible, surely, somewhere. I don't know
Not-
how.
not with that shader.
Not with that
It's,
shader.
it's not
Because I don't know. I cannot read this. Well, I can sort of read it.
Slightly.
I can understand bits and pieces of it, but not enough to be able to modify it and say, okay, I can just add here something. This is that. I can change this and multiply this by that and stuff. I don't know. I cannot do that.
I think we'll find a way. We'll find.
Of course.
We'll find a way.
And if it's not perfect, that's fine too.
even if
We've
it's not
already
perfect,
decided that a very long time ago.
I already made it in a way that is like I'm slightly more comfortable with, so I could live with that.
And also, once we add the lighting and the more autumny tones and more oranges and more stuff, it will change the
Yeah,
look
of
of the
course,
entire
and
thing.
Just, I mean, we have just brown terrain for
Yeah,
now.
if you put
to
some
contrast.
trees, look how pretty it is when you're next to the trees.
Yeah,
There's some faint reflections and stuff.
There was, yeah, there is that. There, I guess, yes.
Once there,
Also,
think about all the
the-
trees on the side and stuff.
Yeah, but also in the camera, you displayed the world, so that's why they don't see
Yeah.
the lines
But
and
look
stuff.
at this.
Yep,
It's pretty
Yeah,
with
still.
the thing.
it's workable. I can do something with that. I can do something with that. It's fine. It's fine. It's a work in progress. It's fine.
I can see those reflections. Look at that. Once there's stuff everywhere, it will be fine. Don't look at
Yeah,
that
much
scene.
better. Also, the ground is not going to be that color, so
No.
that's gonna
Don't look
help.
at the big hole in the background.
Pretend there is no seam in the background, no open. the ground isn't opening under your boat. It's fine.
I really like those reflections. Those are pretty.
Yeah, you can actually modify them. I almost messed them up very badly.
Yeah.
I had to reset everything because
yeah, I
I
had some
I-
toying
yep.
around too.
Yep, I almost broke everything.
That's what the
Good
reset
news.
button is for.
Yeah. Good news. I didn't break it indefinitely.
No.
Almost, but didn't.
Well, you can always revert the Git project thing.
I had finally found a look that I liked. No, I couldn't. But yeah, no, I'm still not very satisfied with the water, but I still think it looks a bit better, a bit more in
Yeah, it looks
accord
good.
with
I like.
the looks we could have. So hopefully we're on the right path. Hopefully.
We're figuring things out, and we're starting to get somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
And look at what all we made in a week.
yeah, it's been a week. I should remember that, and I was
It's been 1 week,
and I wasn't very focused this weekend.
and you did a lot of Blender learning.
Not enough. I keep getting distracted. Being a student is so hard. I had forgotten. I'm too old now.
Yeah, I've spent like 4 months learning Godot and following coding courses and stuff. It was so hard.
That's the worst.
I thought, oh, it's a 10-week course. I can do that in like 10 days. I can just watch the videos and then do the exercises and then just do that simply. And no, I spent like 4 days on the first exercise and I thought, oh, wait a second, this is going to take a while.
Yeah, they're not kidding when they say 10 weeks.
Nope.
In my case, it's less, set lessons and with exercises and stuff, but it's because the first part of it is so heavy in informations. It's like you have a 15-minute video and it's all about, I don't know, how to manipulate a camera in Blender. And it's very nice. It's very nice how the collections work and visibility and stuff. It's very nice. These are notions that I'm familiar with, but not in Blender, not the Blender way. So I'm interested in it, and I start watching. And by the 6-minute mark, I'm doing something else, and I've forgotten about the video. So I have to roll it back and then refocus on it. And then I try very hard. So the 15-minute video ends up taking me an hour
Of course.
to really, really, really work it through. That's a good experience as someone who teaches often, because I often do that, teach game design or very basic video game development to kids or game design to students. It's a good reminder that
Stuff is hard.
you need to make your course very, very interesting, or at least to allow for moments where the attention can wane a bit. And easy ways to reconnect with the material when they suddenly, go like, oh, right, there is a lesson happening.
Cat screaming. I'm using the laser again. And he stopped screaming. Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, now he's hunting the laser. He's perfect. Blue likes screaming way too much, and when he screams, I just use the laser, and then he shuts up. That's perfect.
It lasts approximately 10 minutes.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Sure. But yeah, so no, I need to remember to be more tolerant of my students. I think, because it's really been a tough week in that aspect for me, where I had to keep focused and to not constantly get distracted or pulled into something else. So that's also why I spent a lot of time sculpting the terrain when it wasn't my plan for this week. But I went like, no, I need to do something else that's more practical. Otherwise, I'm gonna just not do it.
It's okay. It's okay to just jump towards some fun stuff at some point.
Yeah, I think
you
so
can't
too.
spend weeks and weeks just doing random abstract
theory.
stuff. Sometimes
No.
you need to just jump in and do fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean theory, but theory is important in this case because I really need to learn the way the software works.
Of course.
So that I'm not just doing things and not understanding, because I've seen that often, and I've done that in my past prototypes where I just go straight to the fun stuff, making the thing.
Then you never learn.
No, that's worse. It's then you have a problem and you're like, I don't know where it's coming from. So should I do it over? And you spend just as much time trying to find that one issue. That was simply that you had your face not facing the right way and your normal was effed up. That's fine. But if you don't know what a normal is, then you cannot... A normal is so normal in 3D. It's basically the way the computer treats your 3D objects, and the normal is what's facing outwards and what they're gonna the computer is gonna translate as a face, basically. Very summed up. But yeah, that's the kind of thing you need to know and you need to understand, so that when suddenly your normal the face on your volume isn't facing the right way and your texture is messed up and your item doesn't import properly, you understand why and how to see that and how to spot the issue and stuff. So yeah, I'm doing that and I think it's important. But yes, if I by the end of this week I'm gonna have to make a rock or something, because it's just not
Oh, on the topic of learning stuff, I want to see how many small little prototypes I tried making. Look at this entire list of random stuff I tried to make.
That's true.
This is all the little prototypes I started and that are half finished and that are not. There's basically like, how can I make this functionality? And then I tried spending a couple days on it. And that's how I learned to use the entire thing. And it's just basically tons of things that don't work, but I learned something from. Those are not games. There's like one thing that's vaguely playable in there. and all the rest is just small tests and stuff.
And technical problems and
Yeah.
exercises and stuff. So yeah, no, but that's also the thing, and I think that I've always believed since I've been a game designer, anyone can make a game, and I think that's really important. Anyone can learn to make a game. There are tools that are way more accessible than jumping into an engine and learning to code to make a small game and stuff. And anyone can learn to make a game. That doesn't mean that you're gonna make a great game. That doesn't mean that you're gonna make a big game. Doesn't mean that you're gonna be good at it. But you can learn to do it anyway. It's a fun way to express yourself, to transmit an idea, a story, anything you want. It's one medium amongst others, and I think it's even probably a bit easier to learn than painting. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. I don't know how to paint.
Exactly.
You've seen how well I can draw. I can draw this. That's it.
This is a Cryac.
It's a Cryac.
For those who missed it, we have a Cryac sketch.
It's not gonna be in the game, but it exists because it was in my head.
But yeah, no, anyone can learn anything, and it doesn't matter if you're like, but I'm too old to learn this or that. No, you can learn to paint, you can learn to make games, you can learn to draw, to crochet. I don't know, anything. Make Legos houses.
I'm 38 and I've just started learning to code.
Yeah, that's accessible, and especially if you already spend a lot of time on the computer, learning to make a game is going to speak to you, because you already have that logic. So that's fine. But like, for example, you have a train ride and you want to make a small game. There's an app for that you can use on your phone if you want. It's very nice. It's called Downpour. And so basically with it, you make what's called flat games, where you have, little, I don't know if it's going to be able to see it. So you have small little games that are basically just, you use pictures and drawings and photos from your phone. You can just take photos on your phone, detour them, integrate them, use them as buttons or stuff. It's super easy to use. You're not going to make a huge game with that. It's going to be very static, very flat. But 4 hours of train, you make a game in 4 hours. Yeah.
Small games, exactly. That's what we do.
Small games, yep.
Well, slightly bigger than that. But
Yeah, no, this is very, very small in scale for games. And also it's in the app, so it's very hard to export them outside of it. But that's one of these type of tools that anyone can use, and you can make a game, and you just fall into that, and that's fun.
It's the same with music and stuff. There's tons of apps that are free that you can just make small beats on something and
Yeah.
the same.
I'm thinking in video games, Bitsy. You can use Bitsy, one of the simplest tools. If you want to show it on the
I don't know what
navigator,
it is, but
on the browser,
I'll find it.
Bitsy, yep,
Bitsy, a little game engine.
yep. This is the smallest game engine, not the smallest, but this is very small game engine. It's very nice. You can export it as an HTML game. It's in browser. It's for internet. It's super easy to use. It's just this. You have small assets that you can make in pixel art in very small grids of pixel art.
I've never seen this app before, and I'm made a
It's
face.
so cool. This is your character. This is your avatar.
Yeah, I got that. This is a
Thing.
cat.
You have tile system, and you can just make like a small little RPG style game where you can move around, or you can change everything. You're not as free. The smaller the tool scale, the less possibilities you have. But this one is really cool. Also, you can animate it right away. You just do sprite animations.
I think I ate
in
the
engine.
cat. Where is he gone?
Probably.
Here he is. Cat. Here we go.
You can place it anywhere
He's
else.
gone.
It has a dialogue and it's very, very easy to use. If you read English, it's very, very easy to use. And then you can download your game. You can upload it. I recommend downloading every so often because it doesn't save.
Oh yeah.
There is no saving,
Download game.
so you can
And then download and upload. Okay.
Yep, and you re-upload it, and then you can remodify it. So that's the save button. which is not the easiest
Oh,
thing
that's
to
nice.
remember. That's one example room. You can
There's
add
the
it,
dogs. You can add okay.
exits and endings. You can really, really do a lot of things on this tiny grid. And you can do as many rooms as you want. You can just do. And I saw like crazy games made by people where they basically like they use that to make instead of being a character in a room in a 2D. Oh yeah, these are all games made with Bitsy.
Oh yeah,
See like the House of the Living in red there.
this one.
You can make crazy things. You can really, really make crazy things. Of course, after that you can reuse what you made in Bitsy sometimes to kind of perfect it and polish it elsewhere, but that's rare. Actually, Bitsy allows you to do many, many things.
Mm.
It's a really, really cool engine. Honestly, like you can make very, very beautiful things, very simple things too, very rough things. It's fun
There's
and it's fun
a
to use.
lot of game in here.
But yeah, you can make a game with that. Anyone can make a game with that, I think. It's just a matter of learning the basics of it. And then from that, you can jump into a more complicated tool. And then from that, you can jump into an engine and then make bigger and bigger projects and stuff. But yeah, if you feel like making a game is inaccessible, no, it is. No, it is accessible. Actually, you can learn to make a game if you want, and especially a small game. Just saying.
That's
I'm-
what we're doing also.
Yeah, I'm just saying
gonna-
there's space for that. There are people who love that and who play that and stuff. Also, Bitsy has a very active and very fun community.
Mhm.
They have jams, regular game jams and stuff. So I cannot advise it enough. I really love that tool. It's a really, really fun, tiny tool.
Yes.
So yeah.
Anyway, do
Anyway,
you guys have any questions? Maybe stuff we didn't talk about. I don't know. What do we plan to do this week? Did we say that? We talked about.
rocks and trees.
Yeah, we're gonna be making rocks and trees a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yes, I think it's gonna be the plunge into the 3D. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. Also, the lessons have been a coping mechanism with the procrastination.
Of course.
But I am a bit scared of jumping
Don't
into
worry,
it.
I'm gonna jump in right away and make a couple very ugly trees, and you're gonna say no, they're way too ugly. Let me make them better, and then you'll make.
Yeah, that's one way to motivate me,
Of course,
for sure.
I'm gonna.
I mean,
I made a terrible waterfall, and you immediately made a better one.
yeah. The moment you uploaded the thing, you
I said,
pushed the modification on the GitHub, and I
Look!
pulled it.
Look! I made a terrible waterfall. It's so ugly.
And immediately I went like, give me 5 minutes.
course.
Give me 5 minutes, please. Please.
So I'm gonna make a very terrible, very very ugly rock or a very ugly tree in 5 minutes. Then gonna upload it, and then you're just gonna say, "Oh no!" And then you're gonna start modeling stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And then 5 days later, you won't have slept, and we'll have a full game.
That's okay, not a full
All the
game.
assets.
You're gonna a forest.
We're gonna have a forest.
Maybe a forest.
And we're gonna be like, you need to sleep and take breaks and stuff.
And I will after 5 days.
Mhm.
Probably.
5
No,
days.
I have other things to do here and there. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I shouldn't do that. I'm not doing that. Okay. I'm gonna be reasonable.
That's what
and
we
smart.
said. That's
I'm-
part of the thing
I'm gonna-
that's in the trailer.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember to sleep and eat. That's fine.
Take care of our health and avoid the burnout thing, crunch, and I don't remember the exact
Yeah.
sentence we wrote that was very pretty.
Yeah. No, I remember it, but now I don't want to say it because it's something hypocritical coming from me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very glad you were the one saying it in the trailer. Nope. Nope. I'm not good at that part of game development. The self-care part.
We'll
In-
work on it.
Yeah, in my defense, it's not taught in school. Quite the opposite.
No, I know. Hello, cat.
There's
And
a Mook.
suddenly there's a cat.
Hello, Mook.
He wants
Hello.
attention.
That's fine.
He's wondering why we're screaming so loud.
Yeah, it's not the screaming time normally.
No, normally at this time we'd be watching a movie or something.
Oh. So yeah,
I think that's it. That's the
I think
plan for
that's
this
it. That's
week.
next week. Yeah, I mean, so I'm gonna start. I think starting with rocks is a nice,
Mm.
is a nice thing. It's less complicated shapes than trees and less aesthetic choices to make.
Yeah, and I'm sure
Probably.
maybe there's like a way. Just make a cube and remove some faces, and you have a rock. Or something.
Remove some faces.
Remove some, not faces, but make some indentations in it. I know how it works.
There aren't so many faces on one cube.
Now add some indentations and stuff.
Yeah, no, there are actually
know what I
tools for that. And it's a bit more. You need
There's
to
a
add
bit more to it. I
you
know.
need to add stuff first.
You need to add vertices and stuff and subdivide and strange things and stuff.
Extrude. You need to extrude. You do
Yes.
not add just faces, please.
No, I'm gonna make the most complicated rocks that will crash everything.
I'm not letting you make the cliffs. Let's be honest. It's basically big rocks with textures.
I know how it works. Don't worry. Gonna be learning this week and making at the same time.
I'm scared. I'm very scared of that.
I'm also just gonna be continuing to make all the little systems and the stuff. I'm gonna be working on maybe some animations and like the idle animation for the canoe on the water and
Oh, I think
head
that would be
bobbing.
actually maybe not trees. Maybe I should do the boat first. Boat and paddle.
boat in the paddle.
At
Sure.
least, yeah, probably at least the paddle.
Yeah.
Would be enough. Well, you can make a placeholder if you want.
I was gonna make a big stick
I know.
and then just animate it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
It works.
Yeah,
And then you replace it and you have to redo half of the animation, but that's fine.
that's fine. Yeah. Time saving techniques, sure. Optimization.
Whatever works.
No, it's fine. It's like you shouldn't have to replace everything if you give me the good if you use correct dimensions for the stick.
Yeah, if the size is good, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
We'll see.
Should be fine. Should
I think
be
we
fine.
need a canoe before you make the paddle. Because you need to size the paddle to the
Yeah.
canoe.
I mean, no.
It's gonna
Actually, no. It's not going to be a realistic size.
no, but it's gonna it needs to look right.
Yeah, but I don't need to have the boat to make it look right.
Okay.
Because we're not going to it's video games trick you.
Of course.
It's
I know that.
You do not use normal sizes for things, nor do you position the camera properly.
Especially in first person.
Yeah, especially in first person. Like for example, where we've put the camera on a player
It's way
controller,
back.
it's way back. It's a bit lower than it should be.
Mhm.
It's not the same lens effect as a normal eyes. It's all like that. And the same way, we're not gonna sit in the middle of the canoe like we should, because it wouldn't be readable. It would either take too much space or not enough or not be readable. So it's gonna be a lot of tricks like that. So I don't actually need to make the paddle to
No.
proportion, especially because we're gonna see the paddle up close
Yeah.
more than the boat.
It's gonna be like in your face all the time.
Yeah, so we need to work that so that it's an interesting
Mhm.
item and not just a stick that you see most of the time, you know? So,
Need to be it will probably need to be a little more pretty than
yeah,
a little more high poly than the
Yeah.
rest of the
yeah,
of
it's
the
it's
stuff.
not just gonna be a simple. Otherwise, if it was to size with the boat, it would be a simple rectangle with the paddle at the end of it.
See.
So yeah, no, I'm not. I do not need to make the boat to make the paddle. It's a good idea though to have an idea of the style of the canoe so that it fits. But honestly, I'm pretty set already. I think I'm fine. It's gonna be a bit of wood with a bit of paint. Pretty normal canoe, pretty modern canoe. I think. Just gonna make it look a bit rough and low poly. So it's gonna be fun. I'll-
I've seen a ton of canoes lately, and I really like
Yeah.
some of them.
Do you have the references?
I don't remember. I'll find them again.
It's in it's in the
Oh, here,
on the,
on the drive. Yeah,
the
sure.
drive. Because I really like
Where are they? These?
no this
One of
were
these, or
not,
is it
assets
assets? We're gonna find them. Oh, here they are.
assets 3D models
3D models.
Inspirations.
canoe,
Inspiration.
Inspirations. I can
Sure.
read.
Sure.
Forest,
So-
forest. I should show them this.
Yeah, so that they can know what we're talking about.
Yeah. I'm showing you stuff. Come on. Inspirations. Here we go.
So it's underneath.
I need to hide this one. Yeah, I know how this works. See?
We're very good at the streaming thing. That'd be nice.
Yeah, you want to
I
see
know.
stuff.
So
Here.
these are all references.
This is
So
this one is pretty.
this is a canoe. The
Whoops.
the one before was just a boat,
It's about
normal one-person boat. This is a canoe. Notice the form of the nose.
I like that.
Like that. I like that a lot.
This is another rowboat.
So
These are
different types
pictures.
of boats, of 1 or 2 people boats.
I still like this one.
Yeah, no, it's still
It's the same.
shape of it is so fun.
Mm.
There's a cat doing things. Don't worry about it. This one looks like a banana.
Yeah.
This one really looks like a banana, but it's a kayak.
Yeah, we
That's
do not
why.
want this one.
Kayaks do look like bananas. This is a canoe.
I don't like this paddle. It's plastic. I like wood.
Yeah, no, we're gonna make it wood, but this is a modern one. It could make sense to add visual,
Mm.
to have handles and stuff.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But yeah, because even there you can see that on the hand there is a little bit of a deformation to
Yeah,
make it
there's a handle at the top.
kind of, yeah, or at least a
A
thicker
ball, Yeah.
a thicker way, a thicker part to grab it, and so it doesn't slip from your hands,
Mm.
because you're gonna have wet hands when you use it.
Mm.
So it's important to have a bit of ways to not have it slip from your hands, because then you can't get it back.
Don't play our game with wet hands on your keyboard.
Yeah, that's also a thing. Yeah, sure, that's a good advice, I guess. So yeah, no, I just like canoe shapes. They're fun.
I like the backpack here.
Yeah, no, that was the thing. I think it's cool. It could be cool to have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Anyway,
discussing
we have
inspirations,
stuff.
stuff.
Let's
That's it.
get back to the chatting screen.
Yee.
Here we go.
But yeah,
Yeah, we're good at this. This is the first actual stream. We're gonna get better,
yeah.
probably.
I mean,
Do anything long enough, you're good at it.
that's true. That's true. I guess. I guess that's true. I mean, not necessarily, to be honest.
No,
We could just stick with what we do and never improve. That's also a thing. There are people who do that. If you do things the same way every time, you do not get better. Not necessarily.
well, no, I don't want to do that.
No, me neither. But
So
you get my point.
we'll get better.
We will get better.
Come back in a couple months and see how these streams look like perfect and
I mean,
super professional and stuff.
no, thanks,
Aw.
Siju. But nah, we can do better. Or I could sit near the mouse and control that if you want. If you want, I do have more experience with streaming.
That's true.
So yeah, that's the. But I'm letting
No,
go of
we're-
control.
We're gonna.
I'm
set-
already being a pain graphic wise, so I choose my battles, to
Have you
not
s-
be a control freak on everything.
I could not make any of this on by myself, so
Yeah, me neither.
that's fine. Perfect.
Me neither. I couldn't make as many things alone for sure. I'd probably go back to Bitsy.
That's why we're a
It's
team.
funnier. But yeah, that's why we're a team. Also, that's working by yourself is very different. Oh, I saw very good discussions about that because, as we said in the beginning, I'm very aware that there is a Triple I initiative thing going
Oh,
on
yeah,
tonight
That's tonight, yeah.
about the big indie games gathering together, doing an Avengers thing.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, but
Promotional thing. It's a marketing thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
basically they don't want to have a show where they keep getting compared to AAAs,
oh yeah, it's
but
that,
also
okay.
they're a bit more polished than normal indie games. So and they have bigger budgets and
yeah,
bigger,
those are
and more
big indie
successful
games. I saw the
games and
the
stuff.
list of the people.
Yeah. So they
there.
basically want to do their own trade show, I think.
Okay.
In a way. I think that's what I got it from
I
it.
wasn't sure what it was, so but I didn't really look it up either.
Yeah, so it's basically like they don't want to just be in a lineup where
Yeah, you
Uh,
don't
uh,
want to be compared to God of War Ragnarok when you're
yeah.
I don't know us.
Well, when we're us, we're not
That's-
even
No, but
we're not in the same trade show anyway.
I'm exaggerating, but even if you're a Hollow Knight, you don't want to be compared to that.
You don't want to be in the same, in the same lineup,
Yeah.
because it's not really, it's going to be to your detriment. You're not going to be able to shine. So I understand that. I understand also not wanting to let, the big people who present and host these shows, big publishers and stuff, be like, oh, look, we have so many nice indie games to show you. And you're like, you did nothing for us. Thanks for showing us, I guess. So I can understand that part. I can really, really understand that feeling of we're making our own thing. But also it raised a lot of interesting discourse in the industry, in the indie game side, where there was like, why do we use a term like triple I or like triple A? It doesn't make sense. How do you define what's there? Like, is it a thing that you're going to open up to other people? And how and in what conditions? How do you define a triple I? What difference does it have to do? And so it sparked a lot of discourse, a lot of debates and stuff. Not for long, 24 hours as usual. It's the internet. We have other things to do. But
we'll see what it is
Yeah.
once they have announced all their stuff. And
yeah, I
done
mean, I'm a
stuff.
bit uncomfortable with it. Not gonna lie, because
I haven't looked it up, so I can't say anything about it. but-
I agree that the idea of naming it triple I, is a bit,
Yeah, that's weird.
it's if it's gonna, I'm not making indie games to be back into a triple A style
No.
of marketing and industry.
We don't want to make that.
But I mean, if it helps, sure. If it
Yeah,
helps
sure.
a few indies getting bigger or more attention, I mean, sure. But there were also interesting debates about solo devs versus bigger teams, where it's just not the same thing, and it's all under the same umbrella term of indie games. So you end up with people who are alone by choice, working alone, making their own game alone, or then you have teams like us that are 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 people, where the difference doesn't make as much. Adding one person or two doesn't make as much difference. And then you have bigger teams where it's just a whole different way of developing games. So, and then you have 50 people teams, and then you have actual big studios.
Yeah.
And it's such a different way to develop games when you're alone, or just 2 people, or 5 people, or 10 people. It's a different world you live in. You really do not have the same experience doing it, and you do not have the same restrictions, the same problems, the same things to face, and the results are very different too. And I saw very, very nice discussions in the game dev area about solo devs, because also there was a discussion from a game developer that I love, who's called Natalie Lawhead. I admire her a lot, but basically she's a solo dev. And she was like, well, I would love to have something like this, like maybe the Wholesome Games Direct or something, where we only talk about solo devs.
Yeah.
But then the discussion was, how do you define a solo dev? Because if you use an engine that has been built by tons of people, is it still a solo dev? Or do you have to make your own tools to count? If you get help from freelancers or things like that, you're still alone, the one making your game, but you've had collaborators.
Yeah, it's the same if you use like big asset art packs, or if you
Yeah.
hire someone to do the code and you do all the art, or it's complicated to define what when you're alone or when you're not alone.
Yeah, and how independent you are. It's the same thing. Indie games doesn't make much sense, because we lump in indie games that actually have publishers,
Yeah.
but they're still made by a small team, so you don't want to make them to lump them in the mainstream industry thing, because it would kill their chances of being marketed to the right public. And also at the same time, you have very polished games made by big teams that are still indie,
Yeah.
are still independent. Technically, they do not have a publisher. They do not have funds that aren't just for them. So how do you limit that and define that? Basically, you don't. It's a case-to-case basis. It's, do you want that label? Do you want to get away from that label? On the gamer side, though, it makes it very complicated, because then you have expectations. Like, if you you're gonna lump our game is gonna basically be an indie game
Yeah.
in the same category as Hades,
Yeah, we don't have the same size.
and we absolutely do not have the same level of polish
No.
for plenty of reasons that we chose. Sure, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, then you have players who have the expectations of the next indie game they're gonna play must be Celeste, must
Yeah.
be Hades, must be this very successful game that has been very polished, because it was made by very experienced people, bigger team, or on a much longer time and scale than many other indie games that are actually much more rough and much more interesting for it. But yeah,
Hades was done by 2 people in 11 weeks.
sure.
I've seen that the documentary. Was it No Clip or was it 2-Player Games that did the long documentary on Hades?
I don't know, but let's remember.
There's
just
like they work. Well, there's like I don't know, 50 people in the Hades team or something.
yeah, it's
Even
not
more.
it's not that many people necessarily, but it's a very full team nonetheless.
Yeah, it's big.
And with a bit of turnover during development, and they're very experienced. Also, for years, I don't remember how many years.
I don't know. Bastion was like 10 years ago, so
Yeah, but they had
they've
the
been-
Transistor in between.
and Pyre.
Empire, yeah.
And
that one wasn't
they've
very
been making
successful.
many games.
Yeah, so they took their time with Hades. But yeah, it's just not the same. You cannot have the same expectations as for a game that's made by 5 people who have less experience or less ambition
Exactly.
or less time. So then you have this issue of adjusting.
Yeah, they're
The-
both indie games, but one is made in a year and one
Yeah.
with 2 people, and the other's made in 5 years with 50. So that's not comparable.
Yeah, and that's why at first you had the differentiation of indie games and mainstream games was to differentiate smaller teams, smaller budgets that did not have the marketing force that big publishers have and not the same ways of getting known. And now even that is too big of a term because there's too many games of widely different scales and
Exactly.
and
They're all indie games.
resources and stuff, and they're all indie games. So I understand the triple I thing, but I'm not sure that it's
We'll see.
very a healthy way to look at games either. But that's a different question. Very philosophical. I'm sorry. I completely misdirected the stream for a bit.
Doesn't
sorry,
matter.
I have thoughts and opinions.
You've made many videos about various topics, and you teach stuff. So it's normal that you get distracted and talk about stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I have
It's
opinions.
fine.
I have many opinions.
We're here for that.
Yeah,
I'm here for that.
I guess. This is all
I'm
space.
not just gonna leave.
You can't. It's your computer.
No, it's my home.
It's your computer, so you can leave me with it, but at your own risks.
Yeah, that's
So-
it. Just gonna leave, go on a rant on your own for 2 hours.
Yeah. Cool.
You have the access to the codes. You can just stream on this channel whenever you want.
Yeah, I know. I
We
know. I
should
have.
do that sometime.
Yeah, that's planned. I wanted to do it this week, but then I didn't
Mhm.
do any 3D modeling, so I went like, nah. Maybe when I've made like at least 2 rocks.
Yeah, when we start implementing stuff into the game and doing stuff that's a little more interesting, and when I'm not working full time on a thing,
Could be easier for
could
sure.
be easier. But now, because now I cannot just take a half day and start streaming.
Yeah, and then after that, it's the end of the day, so it's all good to stop and
Yes.
rest. Important self-care. We already
It's
had this
more
conversation.
important to take breaks and not get overworked.
I know.
Uh
I know
Okay.
that.
huh.
I do not go into rabbit holes and forget everything for the duration of them. I do not do that. That's not my style
Mm-hmm.
at all.
We'll work on that.
No.
This is only our first week.
Yeah, so this was the first week for sure. But also I think I was still reasonable because I didn't jump straight into it. It was a very deliberate decision to keep me from jumping into weird tunnels.
Yeah. Don't just start making stuff randomly.
Yeah, or just crazily. maniacally, laughing. I made a tree, another tree, another tree, another
I've
tree.
made 15 different trees for this game.
We
They're
said-
all in different styles. This is gonna be fine.
I wouldn't do that, to be
No, I
honest.
know.
I would make 50 trees, but in 5 different styles, with variations, logs, and different leaf colors, so that we would have a nice palette.
Yeah, and then we would have chosen like 3 of those 5, and then that would have been done.
I said more trees than that. Don't worry.
We'll see. I've seen the list.
Yeah.
We'll be
I-
starting
I've made-
pretty soon.
I made lists. I made so many lists.
Come back next week and see if we actually did that, or if we found another bug that took us like 2 days to solve.
That's so possible too. That's so possible. That's just game development, guys. It's just,
Yeah,
you-
I'm not entirely sure on what I'll be working this week. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But worst case scenario, you make a sad tree, and I look at it and go, I'm gonna make another tree, huh?
Yeah, I'm just gonna make 15 trees, and then each one is gonna be a little better than the previous one, and then at some point we'll have a tree that fits.
Yeah,
Of course.
I could just make one tree to show you the style,
Yeah.
and then you can make trees that
That
look
was
kind of
that
like
was the
that.
plan all along.
Yeah,
But if you are procrastinating and I need you to start something, I'm just gonna make an ugly one and then you'll modify it.
Spite is such a good dungeon for me. It's such a good motivator for me. I'm not gonna lie.
We're learning to work together. This is gonna be fine.
Yeah, no, it works. Also, it's not just the only motivator, but it's one that works instantly. Where I'm like, cool. Can I touch it up,
Hey,
please?
I should not tell you how I manipulate you like that. Seems like a bad idea to tell you.
It still works. It's still gonna work. I studied graphic design.
I'm gonna be like,
My
crap.
brain has been broken to want it to look pretty. Okay.
I'm gonna be like, crap, I really need that tree right now. I'm just gonna make one and they'll make it better. It's gonna be awesome.
I already have trouble with the trees we have in that placeholders.
Look at them,
don't
they're
worry.
ugly.
They're terrible.
You cannot see them, but I can see them. They're terrible. Wait, here they are. There. Look at them. They're terrible. They're so ugly. I don't like them at all.
I'm fine.
They've been in this game for 2 weeks and I don't like them.
Yeah, but we needed placeholders. They
Yeah.
work. They do their job.
They do their job like, look, here's a tree.
You
It's
changed-
in the game.
You changed their colors. It's better.
Mhm.
It's better now than it could have been.
Yeah, they started out gray, so of course.
We needed colors to test the shaders, so that worked.
Mhm.
But yeah, the more I look at them, the
The less I like them.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah, I need to not do that with the assets we're gonna make.
No, we're gonna make the assets and say, okay, they look good enough. Good is good. Good enough is good.
Yeah, you're gonna
That's all we need.
take my hand from the mouse. You do not.
No,
touch
what we're
these
gonna do
trees.
is deadlines.
Yeah, that works.
We'll say we have deadlines. We have
Well,
said by the end of the month, we made a list of stuff. So by this date, this and that and that and that will be done. By that date, this and that will be done.
And basically, we have the month for most of the mechanics,
Yeah.
which we already have,
Mhm.
but also most of the assets, like the main
Yeah.
assets.
The main assets, starting on the animations and the stuff.
Yeah, we can still miss a few variations or complementary assets, things that are like just for pretty to make it.
The goal is basically to, at the end of the month, have the map done and most of the assets done. That it's basically sort of a game that you can walk through.
Yeah, we're probably not gonna have all the interesting sites and stuff and areas where you can look at pretty things, but it would be nice to have at least a few of them to test things and to test how we can make them things.
Yeah, instead of just the basic green square that's over there and the very ugly yellow beach.
Textures. That's what I didn't list yet.
Yeah, they're gonna add some textures. There will be textures.
Yeah, there will be textures.
Mhm.
Simple ones. We're in
Yeah, of course.
locally thing. We're not gonna be very detailed. You're not gonna have like very pretty rocks, gravel and sand and stuff. No, it's gonna
No.
be very simple. It's very stylized. Is that
That's the
word?
That's the word.
That's the word. That's the correct word. But
Not simplistic, but stylized.
can be both. Could be, honestly. But yeah, we need to work on that. And yeah, worst case scenario, I send you a quick sketch of the kind of tree I have in mind,
Sure.
and you try.
I'll be the yeah. I like these fireflies. I'm very proud of them.
Particles.
I like the particles, and I like the reflections they make on the water.
We're easy to please.
But look, it's pretty.
Yeah, it is. But also, I just love particle systems. It's just
Yeah.
so fun to play with. Like, if you have never made a particle system, this is a thing. If you try to play with a big game engine, 3D game engine, it's just so fun to make a particle
Particles are so
system that
fun.
fits
Where's
what you
the
want to
thing?
do.
I don't remember. Here's the particles. You can make them move and size and move in a direction, and these make them faster. At some point, gonna be zooming around and gonna be crazy.
There it is. There
at
it
them.
is.
Wee can make that there are like 1,000. Computer's gonna crash. That's gonna be great.
Why would
Look
you
at
do
this.
that? Why would no?
This is pretty.
Yeah,
not
it's,
gonna do
it's
that,
so
but-
fun. But yeah, also particle systems are usually a very heavy thing to manage performance-wise.
Yes.
So you don't want to overuse them. But it's just that it's just so great. I
Yeah,
truly love that thing.
we're not gonna be gonna go crazy on them, but
No, we won't.
too much. Or at
Nah.
least like only in specific areas and
Yeah, for specific things. I don't
There's-
know. They're also very easy and cheap in terms of resources
Mhm.
to create visual effects.
exactly.
It's a very cheap way to create.
But that's how I made the
visual
fire. The
effects.
fire is basically
Particles.
4 particle effects, one layered on top of each other.
So it's just you can do a lot of things with that, visual effects and stuff like that, without having to draw actual visual effects and stuff. So it makes a lot of things easier, and it's just a very interesting tool for many things, but also one that you should not abuse because it can easily eat up all your memory processing
Yeah.
and processing power, and make your frame rate go just
I can
dead,
already tell
flat line.
it's going pretty low. When you're looking this way, it's 224, which is already not very many, and then you look this way and then it's 180, and then you go a bit up, and then we're under 80 frames because these tiles are huge.
Oh yeah, the tiles, the water tiles.
The water tiles are 500 by 500. They're way too big.
Yeah, we need to be able to resize them a bit more.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll find a way. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine.
Nothing is definitive. Nothing is permanent for now, and
Yeah.
we'll start toying with it. And in the game plan, in the planning phase, we added 2 weeks for optimization and stuff. So we'll figure something out.
This is gonna be the heartbreaking moment.
Oh yeah,
2 weeks of
cutting stuff.
gut wrenching decisions where you're like, oh no, it's so pretty. I don't want to give up
I
that
need to
fog.
remove them. There's too much fog. The game crashes when you go into that area. Well, just remove it. Oh no.
Can I at least have a bush? Can I at least have this little flower scattered there?
Of course.
No, you can't. No,
We'll
you
see.
can't.
We'll see. We're
No,
not at that point yet.
You made it so that there is wind going through the flowers. It doesn't. It's not doing properly. It's not doing well.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's gonna be the hack and slash part, but
Mhm.
into the game itself. But it's fine. It's fine. You get used to it. Just
10 weeks. The
I
game
know.
comes out in early June.
that's the good news is we won't have time to add that many things.
No.
Way too many things, probably still, but much less than if we use double the time. So that's that. I
Of
guess.
course.
I guess. Maybe. But
So
yeah,
yeah.
that's it, I think, for today.
I think so too.
Yeah.
If you have questions, now is the time to ask. But I think that we're gonna be wrapping up shortly.
Join us next week for the rock exhibition.
Rocks and ugly trees.
Yay!
And then the week after that, pretty rocks and pretty trees.
Maybe.
Probably.
Probably. Oh, we have so many assets to make it. It's not gonna be just trees.
Rocks!
Rocks! It's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I need to tell you exactly how the rocks should be made.
Show me some pictures and I'll make some. I can follow tutorials on rocks on Blender. That's no problem. I've already made some
That's
a while back. I don't know where they are, but I can make
Yeah.
new ones.
yeah. We're gonna need to make new ones
Of course, we're gonna
and
make
not
new
just
ones.
follow the.
I'm
the
not gonna.
tutorial
I
because-
can't follow a tutorial without modifying.
Yeah,
stuff.
but that's the thing. Also, it's just that because some of the rocks will be used for some things and some of the
course.
rocks will be used for other things, so they have requirements.
Mhm.
Each of them,
I'm gonna be following your lead as well.
please,
Of course.
please.
I'm not just gonna create random stuff. Hello, Clan.
Bye.
You're arriving at the moment we're saying
Yeah.
goodbye.
Unless you guys have crazy questions that's
Yeah, of course.
gonna throw us into ranting or discussing plenty of things. Yeah, we're gonna probably stop there. Yeah, we don't have much else to.
No, I don't think we have much
Show.
else to show.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. Canoes. Canoes.
Oh, canoes.
Oh yeah.
Puns.
There's not going to
Puns.
be puns in this game. At least not obviously. Probably.
Probably.
I don't know.
Probably. We already have a few Easter egg things, ideas. If we have time.
We
To
have made a
implement
list of random ideas of stuff to put in the game, and we'll see what we have time for or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, first we need to just create the trees.
Create the environment, and then we can see what we put in there.
You know, I think that it would be nice by not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, to have at least one area where we have a little bit of forest, one pine, one normal leaves, which is how I differentiate. I don't know the name of trees with leaves.
I don't know.
Pines, others, pines, and non-pines.
Exactly.
Basically, trees are.
There's three
very,
types of trees: pines, the white ones, and the brown trees.
Okay, that's true. I don't think we're gonna make white ones.
I don't think
It's-
they'd fit.
They could,
Maybe.
but
We'll
either it's only white trees and pines,
Mhm.
or it's brown trees and pines.
We'll see. That's a problem for us for next
I
week.
think we should do brown trees,
Mhm. Of
just
course.
because it hides more things. Whereas the white ones, you require many of them
Mm.
to give the impression of a forest,
Yeah, I know.
and so because they're very thin, usually.
And we're also not
well,
gonna
there,
make.
there are big ones that are white too.
And we're not gonna make weeping willows and stuff.
No.
Not in scope. It would be very pretty, but no.
No.
Not for this game.
No.
Doesn't
no.
fit with the autumnal vibe.
So yeah,
And this area, which is probably like north place somewhere. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna be realistic
No.
in terms of both.
No, but we're gonna be using pictures to inspire us.
we already have some, and they're from widely different places
Yeah,
in the world. Like you have
there's-
something in America, you have something in Italy, you have something in a fjord. So yeah, we're not gonna be very realistic geography wise. Don't come at us, people who know about trees and rocks.
Do you
this
think
is
they'd be able to tell what type of tree we
Yeah.
made?
kind of, yeah?
I don't think so, but
I mean,
we'll see.
not in details, and will we know exactly what tree we made?
Let's make an oak tree today.
I mean, it doesn't matter. We're not gonna make the leaves very detailed, and this is one way of telling apart trees. So there is not gonna be that detail.
No, we'll see. It'll be fine.
So yeah, and same color of the rocks and stuff, and the style of the rocks can also be very different. We could have gone with the mesa style of mountains. We went with spiky ones. So
Spiky mountains are prettier.
depends.
I know.
But it just seemed to make more sense. it's less frequent to have canoeing in the Mesa style things, and they're huge usually.
Yep.
So that would make the terrain way more contrasted, which is less reminiscent of a cool hike
Yeah,
To me.
that's not the vibe.
to me. That might be my European.
That's what we said last week. That's it. If it fits the vibe, it goes in. If it doesn't fit the vibe, it doesn't go in.
That's true. That's true.
And we basically know what what the vibe is, and we agree on most bits so far. And when we don't agree, we just
Compromise.
talk about it or compromise.
We compromise mostly, I think.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but also it's gonna be fun. So yeah, more things to come next week.
Yes.
Tune in, same place, same time, usual 7 p.m. It's gonna be fun.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
See you next
And
week.
in the meantime, maybe you'll find us elsewhere or on this channel. We'll see what time we have and motivation and energy,
Exactly.
which is not always a resource we have.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I shall see you all soon next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Are you tired of huge games with too many things in it? Tired of hearing about games that only come out once you've entirely forgotten about them?
Too long development cycles?
Too big teams? Too big
games? Well, we have a solution for that.
Hello, we are Small Dreamers.
We've been toying with the idea of making games together for a long time, and the time seems right.
The goal of Small Dreamers is to make bite-sized games, short experiments, each made within a 10 to 12 week time frame.
We plan on documenting our progress with weekly live streams, short, quick video updates, and regular devlogs. And all our games will be available for free on itch.io.
We have a ton of ideas we want to try out, and the list keeps growing.
We want to remain independent and use as many open source tools as possible.
We'll try to stay on schedule while taking care of our health. The goal is to avoid the crunch that's so prevalent in the games industry.
We wouldn't be able to do this without your direct support. So, if this sounds interesting to you, consider joining the Patreon.